Steve Dangle, Adam Wilde, and Jesse Blake.
Hello, everybody! Yeah! Hey, man. All you are here despite all the snow. All I heard all day was, I don't know if that event's going to happen tonight. You guys sure are facing a lot of snow. But you are here, aren't you? Yeah! That's right! That's right! Now, this is an audience I feel like I see a lot of new faces. I see some familiar faces. And in case you've never been to a live show before, it's not a poetry recital. When you like something, cheer for it. Can I hear you cheer, please? Yeah. Right. When you don't like something, boo it. There we go. All right. And you're about to see tonight the first international men's game involving NHL players in 9 years. Woo! 9 long years. It's Canada and Sweden. 4 nations face off tonight, obviously. Tomorrow night, we've got USA-Finland. And I want to start the show with Steve and with Joe. Oh, okay. Oh, are we?
Boo!
Well, hold on. Why are we booing the Finns? What did they ever do to you?
USA.
These guys really hate Finland.
Yeah. Wow. Why do you hate Finland so much? I want to ask Steve and Jesse this question. If you know the answer to this question, say nothing. All right. So the last time we had international men's tournament with NHL players was the 2016 World Cup.
Yes.
It's crazy that it was that long ago.
Yes.
Now Jesse and I were there for the big opening, and we can talk about that because there was an issue. But I want to ask you guys. There were 2 teams at that tournament that didn't win a game. Can you name those teams?
Team North America.
Okay.
No.
So that's
No.
one of Jesse's answers.
I don't know.
Name one.
Finland?
Finland did not win a game. Who was the other team that did not win a game?
I want to say that was the beginning of Team USA being bad for a while.
Team USA also did not win a game at the 2016 World Cup. Now, looking at the rosters, you're kind of like, wow, that's probably not going to happen this time.
No, perhaps not.
Well, some of their good players weren't allowed to play for them. Like Matthews should have been on Team USA.
He should have been. I can't even remember the Young Guns team, but I can remember Phil Kessel didn't make that team, and that gave rise, I don't know if you guys remember that tweet, where he was like, sitting at home with my dog right now, I feel like I should be doing something. When they lost.
Was that the World Cup or the Olympics?
That was the World Cup. I'm pretty sure.
Either way, he should have been there.
And I think Tortorella was the coach.
And they learned their lesson, and Torts is back.
So, listen, we're really, really excited. Obviously, this Boston Pizza is pretty special because it's owned by a legend named Keith Acton. Woo! He's going to come up a little bit later. We're going to chat with him. Right now, he's going to hang out. And I want to say, too, I want to thank, obviously, Boston Pizza here in Stouffville. And I want to thank Molson Canadian. By the way, don't forget to order a Molson Canadian tonight, because if you do, you can play Shoot Your Shot. $40,000 worth of prizes. We're talking like VIP hockey experiences, that sort of thing.
Steve's car.
You get to drive Steve's car home.
You get to just drive it off the lot.
Who wants Steve's Mazda?
Steve's car.
I drove my wife's car here today. I don't care. Just take it. Just take it. It's fine.
Steve, how many people did you get mad at on the road here?
So I had Jesse in the back of my head the whole way here because he thought your number was like 12.
Yeah, I thought it'd be like 12 people.
My number was 0.5, and sadly I went over that. It was 2.
Okay, 2.
What were you mad at them for? How did they not reach your standards of driving, Steve?
All right. So, well, first of all, I'm the only one who knows what's going on.
Right.
That is the rule number 1 of any driver on the road. You're the only one who knows what's going on. You are number 1, the best driver in the world. Someone should pay you to do it. I was in an area that I knew I would get mad in Pickering, where you got to go north, and there's a ton of lights. And if you screw around, then you're going to miss lights, and it's going to hold you back. So I got mad there. And another one was someone driving like 20 under the limit because they shouldn't have been on the road today. I agree, boo.
But were they just
boo.
20 under the limit, boo.
Like, were they being safe because it's
Doing
snowing
20
out?
under?
Okay, whatever.
Go home.
The person was probably like, I'm trying to go home. Why is this man yelling at me?
That's where I'm trying to get to. Stop honking me, Steve.
I didn't honk.
I wanted to be anywhere else in the world but here right now, and here I am.
I didn't honk. I didn't tailgate. I just simply stewed.
You stewed.
I stewed. like a slow cooked chicken.
So you're an angry look guy. You see the driver and you give him a little stare.
Do you stare him down?
I've seen you do it.
You've seen him do
I've
it?
seen him look over and give him a stare.
All right.
I don't, because God forbid, I don't want someone to be like that. Steve? Like, because I've had people like on the DVP be like, hey, that's how slow you go on the DVP. I watch the podcast, I'm listening right now. And I'm like, cool, you're about to hit that guy in front of you. Freaking terrifying. No, I'm a big hand gesture guy.
Oh, which hand gesture?
An Italian one?
No, okay. All right.
Italian one?
Not a lot of,
Oh,
none of that.
Did someone say Mamma Mia?
Yeah.
Oh man. Well, listen, I'm so glad that you were able to get here, Steve, tonight, despite the incompetence of everybody else driving.
Oh my God, it's terrible.
It's terrible. Now listen, guys, who is from the Stouffville area here? Can you cheer? Woo! All right.
Hopefully everyone. No.
Who isn't? Where else are you from? Mount Albert, Buffalo. Are you actually from Buffalo?
Buffalo.
Did you drive up from Buffalo today? No, you did not.
Okay, good.
That's good. By the way, the snowstorm we're about to get, he's from Buffalo. He's like, whatever. This is every
day.
week. Yeah. And I think it's a Blue Jays hat behind Mr. Buffalo. You're Markham. Oh, well.
What?
Are you from the area?
That's right there.
No, Markham. It's so far away.
It's the greater Stouffville area.
Yeah, you're right.
Yes.
Where else do we got? Vaughn. We got a Vaughn. Okay, you came across the city.
He said
All right,
Zephyr.
all right. Where else
I don't
we
know
got?
where that is.
Are we convinced that's a real place?
That's
Kawartha
north of here.
Kawartha Lakes. That's about an hour away from
Zephyr.
here. Zephyr.
Yeah.
Where's Zephyr?
Adam,
North
you know
of here,
small
right?
towns. Where's Zephyr?
I've never heard of Zephyr.
Straight north.
Straight north. Well, that's convenient. That's great. Well, listen, we're all so glad that you're here. and listen, there's a couple of things that we want to do tonight. Obviously, we want to do a little bit Q&A. I'm going to work backwards. We're going to do a little Q&A. We got some prize giveaways and that sort of thing. But as I mentioned, we have a legend in the bar who happens to own the place, which is great. And he's been so gracious with his time. He's the reason that we're back here today. I'd like to call to the stage former Leafs assistant coach, Stanley Cup winner, Mr. Keith Acton. Woo! Sit down. How are you?
Welcome to your place that you own.
I'm good, thanks. And I'd just like to say that thank you guys for coming here. We're so proud and feel privileged to have you in our establishment and in our community in the town of Stouffville. And just know that this is your home away from home, and you'd be welcome to come here anytime you want. We love it when you do, and it's always wonderful to have 3 stars in our establishment like you guys are.
Thank you, Keith.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, none of us have a
just
cup
hold
ring.
a second. I don't think that cheer was loud enough. That's more like it.
I didn't have crowd hype man Keith Acton on my bingo card. That's awesome. I love it.
Adam's coming for your job.
I know. I'm going to be replaced very quickly.
You better watch out.
He's also smarter. That's a problem. All right.
And he played the game.
I know. Well. So, Steve, what did you want to say there? You were going to say something.
Oh, I was going to say now the crowd is acting their part.
Oh, stop.
I wish you didn't
Boo
say
this
that.
man.
I
Boo
wish
this man.
you didn't say that.
Now, before we kind of, because obviously, Keith, you not only coached the Leafs, but you also played on a line with Craig Berube once upon a time. And when we were here, we talked about Craig. We talked about what he might bring the last time we were in this establishment, which is cool. Now, I want to talk to you, though, first about this jacket that you're wearing, because this is pretty special, guys. This is something I don't think you realize, I didn't realize until Keith told me, what this jacket is, how you got it. Can you tell us the story?
Well, first of all, being a child of parents that grew up in the Depression, I learned very early from them I never throw anything out. So this jacket I got in 1992 when I was I played in the World Championships, and we all got a jacket like this, and I've kept it, and I'm very, very, very proud to wear it. And I thought tonight would be a good night with some international hockey going on, and we're going to be watching, and Team Canada is playing. But with that said, I'm even more proud of one thing, is that after all these years, this jacket still fits me.
Yeah! Woo! I also like, it says Czechoslovakia right on the side here.
I noticed
which
that too. He fits in something that still says Czechoslovakia.
Yeah. Crazy.
Unreal.
Crazy.
Unreal.
So Keith, listen, I think everybody, the obvious question is, and I think everybody wants to know, a lot of Leaf fans here tonight, right? Yeah. We do have the Sabre fan as well. And a Habs fan. Yes, sir. Hey, now. Listen, we're welcoming everybody in tonight.
No.
All right? We're welcoming everybody in. Keith, we got to start with the Leafs because obviously...
Another one.
Oh, we got a shark.
She's in the back.
Oh, another house. They're booing you because they love you. Now, Keith, I want to talk to you about Craig Berube. You talked about a couple of things when we were here last time. You told some great stories. Keith talked about how he was on a line with Guy Lafleur. If you look over here at the picture, this is him drinking out of the Stanley Cup that he won in 1990 with the Edmonton Oilers. Keith, you coach the Leafs. You know what this is to be here in Toronto. What have you seen from the Leafs this year under Berube that you were not seeing last year or previous seasons?
Yeah, I think that I think we can all have some new hope and dreams and expectations that the Maple Leafs maybe can do it based on the fact that this year I think they're playing a different style of hockey under Craig Berube. I'm a guy that I always look at goals against. I think that's really, really significant, and the Maple Leafs this year they're in the top 10 in the league in goals against. I don't ever believe that if you're not at least in the top 10 in goals against during the regular season, I don't think you have a chance at winning a Stanley Cup because if you can't keep the puck out of your net, you can't score 4, 5, and 6 goals in playoff games to win. And I think that, there's a lot of factors that go into that, but I think Craig's done a good job with regards to coaching. I think their goaltending has been upgraded. Obviously, they've made some moves on defense that have upgraded the defense. I mean, with Tanev, the guy is actually absolutely polluted and saturated with sacrifice, and he drags other people into that mode. It breeds it into the other people on the team, but they're now playing a brand of hockey, and they're not scoring maybe as much. If you look at the margin of their goals for and goals against, it's maybe not that big, but they're not in the top 10 goals for, but you don't have to be in order to win a Stanley Cup. What's significant is you keep the puck out of your net and you get into the playoff games and you can win those games against good teams by only scoring 3 goals and maybe only 2 in a night, and that can maybe take you to the promised land. And I think that's what Craig has done this year. He's got the players spending the energy doing what the situation warrants, not maybe saving their energy for what they'd like to do. And, he's made them accountable for that. And now they're starting to like it. And they're doing it consistently, and they're rehearsing with regular season games on how they have to play when they get into the playoffs. And that's very, very important. And he's been able to do that for them. And like I said, it's a learning process, and the players are respecting him, and they're buying into what he's bringing to the table. So, let's keep our fingers crossed and hope that they continue on that path. And there's no guarantees. It's very competitive, but I think they're positioning themselves well to have a good run in the playoffs. And if you look at it, they've got some balanced scoring. I think you guys follow it closer than I do, but I think that potentially they could have maybe 6 or 7 20-goal scorers this year, which when you can spread that through your lineup with some superstar players, that's significant as well.
I mean, that was an expensive speech for me, man, because I'm going to get polluted with sacrifice tattooed on my arm, I think. If the Leafs win the cup, it's going to wrap around the cup. Holy smokes. That was...
You should use that in the LFR, polluted with sacrifice. That's a great line.
I am going to. Oh, my God. I had a hard time listening to anything after that. I was like, that's the hardest, most metal thing I think I've heard in a very long time, and my dad's a metal drummer. One thing I've sort of done as a bit this season is, we got to know Sheldon Keefe, and we saw a lot of his because of documentaries, we saw. Oh, come on!
Oh, we're not booing Sheldon Keefe.
we
Stop.
saw a lot of behind the scenes tirades, but because of documentaries, so we had an idea of how he operated during intermissions. What I imagine with Craig Berube, when the Leafs have a poor period, is he just stands next to a TV showing compilations of his fights and stares down the room. Have you ever seen him win a fight with a look? And have you ever seen a guy chirping at him and you went, no, you don't want to open that door?
Well, okay, so if I go back to a time when Craig's about 10 years younger than I am, and I got traded to Philadelphia, and so he was like 20, 21, and he was. I don't usually take much credit for things I don't want to, but I'm going to take some credit for where he is today.
Hell yeah.
Because at that time, with his look, he couldn't find a fight because nobody wanted to fight him. But he was playing left wing with me, and I think I've been instrumental in his development. He's now the coach of the Toronto Maple Leafs. But at that time, I had to take him for lunch one day, and I had to explain to him. I had to say, Chief, I said, you're supposed to play this game with gloves on and a stick in your hand, and there's a thing out there that's a puck, and the idea of this game is that you're supposed to try to keep it out of your net and try to strategically get it to the other end and put it in their net, but I don't think we can do that together as line mates if you don't have gloves on and you don't have a stick in your hand. So his response to me was, Woody, I was taught a long time ago to make sure that I did what I did best and play to my strengths, and that's not with gloves on and a stick in my hand. So
me neither, to be fair.
To
different reasons.
So to kind of answer your question, I think that, you know what, he's a very honest guy. He's a stand-up guy. He's a straight shooter. He has a presence. I draw a lot of parallels between him and Pat Quinn. Not many people here wouldn't. Let's cheer for Pat Quinn. I mean, not to be disrespectful to, but Pat as a player was a hard-nosed guy, a tough guy that maybe didn't have a lot of skill. Ran kind of in parallel with Craig Berube. And Pat was a big man and very knowledgeable with great presence. And Craig's really been a real student of the game. When you think about it, that he squeezed out well over 1,000 games as a player with not, a whole lot of talent, but he learned and studied the game, and that's why he's now a head coach in the National Hockey League, and he's doing an extremely good job with the Toronto Maple Leafs, and let's hope they can win the Cup.
Yeah.
And sorry to the Montreal fans here, I cheer for the Canadiens too.
With the tournament starting today and the game tonight with Team Canada, a lot of the conversation coming into the tournament, people trying to downplay the excitement that the players had for the tournament and throwing on the jersey. But as somebody who understands that, I don't think there's any way Marner playing for Team Canada tonight can ever not reach to that level where he knows, this is important. I'm representing my country, and there's been times when representing your country in hockey, there's international politics involved and all of that. And even today in this political climate, I think it means a lot to a lot of Canadians who are wearing the jersey here in this building tonight that this team is out there representing Canada, and a win is really important. Can you speak to how the players are feeling tonight, throwing on that jersey and representing their country?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think it's most players, their dream is, to win a Stanley Cup. Growing up, that's really significant. But playing for your country is phenomenal as well. And you look back at past players when they had an opportunity to do that, the Gretzky's, and You brought up Mitch Marner. Some of these players that are playing in this tournament are going to learn a lot from experienced people. I was reading today where Sidney Crosby, he's won World Junior, he's won a Canada Cup, he's won a World Championship, he's won two Olympics, he's won 3 Stanley Cups, and in the last 25 games that he's put on a Canada jersey, he's 25-0. That's pretty amazing. Nobody's been winning like that, but people like Mitch Marner, they're gonna learn a lot from some of these other players. And if I'm Craig Berube, I'm happy that they're playing in this tournament because they're gonna learn a lot about winning and what it means to them. And playing for your country can do that. I look back in 1987 when Mario Lemieux was a very, very dominant superstar in the game, but he hadn't won anything yet. And he played in the 87 Canada Cup with the likes of Gretzky and Messier and for his country, and it really got him excited about winning. And he learned about winning and what the formula was for it. And then he took that back to Pittsburgh and applied it, and he won a couple of Stanley Cups. So this is going to be a very instrumental experience of gaining knowledge for a lot of players, and one that you brought up in Mitch Marner. I think what you're going to see, though, is from Team Canada is you're going to see Connor McDavid's really going to be the engine that's going to drive this. He's no fault of his, but he hasn't had any opportunity to play internationally. I don't think. Correct me if I'm wrong.
World Cup, that's it.
Yeah.
And he was on the Young Guns team. That wasn't a Team Canada thing, right?
Yeah.
He played for a country that didn't exist.
Yeah. And so dating back to when he played in the World Junior, and no fault of his, but he's been starving. He's had an incredible appetite to get on the world stage in things like this, and he hasn't had that opportunity, and he's a 10-year pro, and so I think you're going to really see him seize the opportunity and really want to excel in this.
One of the things that you told us last year, we were here, sadly, after the Leafs were eliminated. But, you talked about Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl, and it was during the finals, and you said if they won, and man, did they come close. If they won, he would have been, along with Leon, one of the most impressive players you've ever seen win a cup. And I think the reason was that the supporting cast, as useful as they could be, because of the cap, it doesn't allow you to have some of the supporting guys around you. What do you see, or what did you see in that finals from Connor McDavid that made you think, okay, this is next level, this guy is an all-timer? What is it that you were seeing from him there that you're, obviously we're hoping to see for Team Canada over the next 3 to 4 games?
Yeah, I agree with all of that. For them to come back in that series, for me, Connor McDavid was a driving force. And when you get into the playoffs, a lot of times it's hard. You're playing every other night for 2 months, and to win, you start to get banged up physically, mentally. It's draining. But he wouldn't allow himself or any teammate to drop off in their play. And even when they were down 3-0 in the final, no, we still got a chance, and we're gonna scratch and claw and bite and kick, and we're gonna get back in this. And he's the leader. He was the driving force. He's the one that's instrumental in that. And I can tell you that it's so important to him to win. And anything less, I said this last year when they were in the finals, that if they didn't win, the organization's going to be disappointed, players are going to be disappointed, fans are going to be disappointed, on and on and on. But there's going to be nobody that's more disappointed than Connor McDavid that they didn't win the Stanley Cup. He's just got such a driving force inside of him that he has to do that, and he's going to elevate his teammates around him. And it's not just on the play that night or whatever. It's how you train. It's how you commit yourself. It's what your desire, what your dedication is, because it has to go beyond the boundaries of all your opponents. And I think, unfortunately for Connor, he hasn't had the supporting cast of, not to discredit other superstars, but other superstars have had better supporting casts than he's had in Edmonton. But I think they'll be there again this year.
Well, Gretzky had Keith Acton.
Yeah.
I mean, and he couldn't have done it without you.
Well, you know what? You said that last time, that when he played with me, that was his last cup. And he didn't play with me anymore. So some smart guys here finally figured it out.
Now you figured out why we got invited back.
That's right. That's right. So I guess, Keith, I get long and short here. One of the things that I think Team Canada's worried about going in this tournament is goaltending. And, you have an absolutely stacked forward group, but so do the Americans. And so do the Swedes. You have a stacked defense. I would say Sweden's defense might give the Americans a run for their money. Like,
poor
they're
Finland, man.
Yeah, well, Finland's
Yeah.
a very small country. The fact that they're
I know.
And they're injured,
and they're injured. There's a lot of
treating
injuries.
it like the Three Nation face-off.
Yeah. But I mean, if we're talking about the favorites,
Yeah.
Right.
and I think Finland knows that. The thing that you mentioned about the Leafs, you need to have, got to be the goaltending. Short tournament, right? Really, really short, so you can squeak this stuff through. What do you think of Binnington starting tonight, maybe Aiden Hill starting Saturday? What do you think about the goaltenders that they picked? Do you think that they maybe should have waited? Should they have picked the guys that were hot in December when they announced the lineup? What are your thoughts on that selection?
Well, again, you guys are really smart guys. And you bring up the fact that, goaltending is going to be really significant in this tournament, and I'll tell you why. And the goaltenders in this tournament it's going to be somewhat of a new experience for them as well, because it's going to be different. Because the goaltenders in the NHL on a regular season night, I mean, you have to have your focus and your concentration at the highest level. But there's going to be times in the game when you can relax a little bit, because the opposition has their fourth line coming out. So it's not to say that they're not very good, but Keith Acton is a fourth liner. The goalie at the other end could relax a little bit, because he knew that it was going to be a shot from the outside, and he could read the label on the puck and was going to hit him right in the belly. So he could take a break for a little bit, and he didn't have to expect the unexpected. He knew exactly what was coming. So in this tournament, that's not going to be the case. So their concentration level is going to have to be, for the goaltenders, is going to have to be like a race car driver. Every second is going to be important. Even if the puck's in the other end, the game is going to be so dynamic that it could be coming this way in a matter of seconds. And the goaltending is always a big factor in the outcome of these events and our games. The other thing that's going to be really significant and important is which team can find their chemistry first. And what I mean by that is, a lot of them haven't played together before. There hasn't been a lot of time to practice together, to play in the exhibition games together. And I think if you're going to be a coach, that something doesn't look right, and you're going to be a mad scientist and start changing things and everything else, maybe the chemistry will never gel. So whichever team can find that chemistry the earliest and get the goaltending, I think will win.
One thing I know, listen, fans worry about everything. We're excited, but
Especially the fan to my left.
me,
Big worrier.
A very close cousin of excitement is anxiety. So some fans worry about wear and tear on a player when they come back for the regular season after a tournament like this. It's obviously not a very long one, but in your experience watching guys after they come back from a tournament as a player or as a coach, do they come back with a little bit less in the tank, or are they fired up?
Yeah, that's a great question.
Thank you.
I think nobody cheered. It's a great question. Come on.
I can tell you Steve's going to be thinking about that all the way home. Keith complimented me, and I feel great.
I think, short term after a tournament like this, if you win and everything went great, you carry that energy and you're excited and the adrenaline's still running. You know what I'm saying? If you have a disappointing loss, then that disappointment sets in. But these guys are pros, and at a certain point after this tournament's over, no matter what happens, they'll be able to flush it and get back at the task at hand.
Beautiful. And listen, Jesse, anything else?
You said something when you were talking about the goaltending. I don't know. I was thinking about the drop off that we've had in the last half decade in Canadian goaltending, and kind of what a shame it is, to go from guys like Patrick Waugh and Martin Brodeur and Carey Price, and then now we're left as the number 3 country in the world in goaltending. And I don't know how involved you are in minor hockey, but do you see there's a reason that Canadians just aren't producing goaltenders anymore?
I think 3 is kind.
No, in terms of goaltender nations, yeah.
I don't really know. I'm not a goalie expert. It's been a real transition over the years on how goalies have played and changed their styles, and I'm not certain on that. I think that probably. We, for whatever reason, we're not producing the goaltending that other countries are, and I can't put my finger on that. If you look at the top goalies in the NHL, they're from Russia or Sweden or
United States.
United States for sure, yeah. And the States have got some real good ones. So, I'm baffled by that too. I don't have the answer. I wish I did.
As a country that has had the greatest goaltending in their history of hockey throughout the years, it's such a shame that we've reached this level. I don't know. I don't have any answers either.
I mean, this is a country that used to you could put Waugh, Brodeur, Belfour, and or Cujo in one tournament, right? And only one of those guys is actually going to play, which is kind of wild. To go to this is really interesting. Really, really interesting. Well, listen, Keith, it's probably our job to, actually work tonight. We've put all the work on you, but we so appreciate you coming up on stage and giving everybody your insights and your stories and everything. This is a gem of a human being, guys. So if you are in the area, please support Boston Pizza Stouffville. Support Keith. And every once in a while, I call Keith and I go, hey, what do you think about? And he always generously answers. So, Keith, thank you so much for having us all here tonight. We really appreciate it, buddy.
Thank you, and thanks for coming, and thanks to all of you for coming, and you're always welcome at Boston Pizza.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Man, I just got to say, I love the stories. I love the stories. The last time we got to hear about what it was like to play with Guy Lafleur, and now we get to hear about, hey, Craig, I know you fight a lot, but could you stop fighting so much? We'd like to play a line.
Well, he had a line earlier this season. Some Leaf had a hot week. I don't remember who it was. I think it was Matthew Nyes. And he's like, well, he's probably had more goals this week than I ever had in my whole career. And he was I thought he was kidding. I went and looked. His career high was 5. That dude had a job, and he did it very well.
Absolutely. But as Keith said, 1,000 games as a player like that is pretty spectacular, pretty amazing. And so tonight, we talked about the goaltending issues for Canada. I want to talk about Sweden. Jesse, can you pull out your jersey, please?
I can.
Can you show everybody? We were lucky enough that Fanatics sent us the jerseys. How sexy is that Sweden jersey? I hate to say it, but damn. Now, of course, it's a Nylander jersey. I want to talk a little bit about Team Sweden tonight because this is a team. Yeah, look at him. Look at Jesse. Looks good in any color too. Kind of annoying.
No.
Tall and hot, and let's talk about Sweden because this is a team that everybody and rightly so. We're going Canada, United States, Canada, United States. That's what we want to see in the final. We're excited about that game on Saturday. What do we expect from Team Sweden, who I think can they won't be surprised by their play, but a lot of people will be. Do you know what I'm saying? I think the belief's in their room. Let's talk about what they're up against tonight.
Yeah, they're a team that I think is deceptively exhausting. You know what I mean? Like we were talking in the group chat, like Sam Bennett's not playing tonight, and the reason he's not is, maybe you play him for Saturday. We know what brand of exhausting the United States is going to be. There's going to be some shenanigans after the whistles. I think there's going to be some friendships tested from Matthew Tkachuk, and if I'm him, the first players I'm going after are my teammates from the Panthers. So any of those, like I'm going after Benny, I'm going after any of them. The way the Swedes are going to be exhausting, I think, is the way they move the puck. I think, man, if you need to get your chemistry going, if you need to get your feet under you, Sweden is both a gift and a curse, I think, to start the tournament with, because you might skate more tonight than you do during any other game in the tournament.
So it's going to be kind of out skating both teams.
I think so. They're going to move the puck. I mean, Willie's going to camp on the offensive blue line, like roar right in front of it.
That's king of breakaways, William Nylander.
That's right.
Yes.
Yeah, but instead of like Connor Timmins, it's like, Erik Karlsson.
Right.
He's probably going to throw sauce on it too. And there's no one in the way. He's just being a jerk about it. Like,
that's the dangerous part of Sweden is that they have like 82 puck-moving defensemen. Everybody from the back end can score and get the puck going. So that's really where they're going to be dangerous. And if they get something going with the defense, and if they have some quick chemistry, like they can surprise.
Helps that they're Viking-sized too.
Yes.
All their defense.
Yeah, every single one of them.
I would love to know if any one of their decision makers behind closed doors was like, if anyone's going to go 11-7, shouldn't it be us?
Yeah, because Dahlin right now is the defenseman out, and that's ridiculous.
Rasmus Dahlin, $10 million player.
You don't need him.
How many defensemen make more money than him, and can I name them all on one hand?
Probably.
One of them is his teammate.
One.
Yeah, even Hedman's not making that much.
No. Hedman's on the first pair.
His teammate.
Begrudgingly.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I think this will be a tighter game. The other thing I want to talk about is, and Steve mentioned it, I want to talk a little bit. We talked Canada, we talked United States, we talked Sweden. Let's talk a little bit of Finland. You said this on the show, Keith. We mentioned it with Keith as well. Short tournaments, teams can catch the magic and go. I mean, we've seen it happen, guys, in the playoffs, and those are 2 months long. Mm-hmm. So short tournament. If Finland is looking to maximize, if they're looking to be in the finals, if they're looking to surprise everybody, which would be the most hilarious result and win, what's that team going to do? They only left one defenseman from the NHL home, right? Obviously, there were some injuries too.
You can speak as glowingly about them as you want. They need saves.
Yeah.
And they got to get that decision right by game 2. Whoever you play game 1, I assume it's UC Saros. If he's not good, beat it.
Kevin Lankinen.
To me, it's Lankinen. He's been far and away the best Finnish goalie this season. So it's got to be him. But it's going to be such a strange mix of roles. One thing that helped Canada win in 2010 at the Olympics was Rick Nash is I'm a grinder now. This is a guy who won the Rocket Richard Trophy. And with Finland, I feel like there's a lot of that just built in. We look at the I almost said the Leafs. This is going to take a little bit of muscle memory. Canada's power play. They do wear a Leaf, to be fair. There is still only one puck. Yeah. They're going to move it around like absolute banshees. It's going to be crazy to watch what they do, and it's completely juiced. It's so good. But if you're given McDavid, let's say 22 to 25 minutes, I don't know, that means you're shelving someone else's superstar, right? Whereas I feel like Finland will be able to accommodate that a little bit more. Their best player is your number one matchup guy, right? It's the number one matchup guy in the world.
Right.
Who wants to play against Sasha Barkov? Nobody. That sounds like a terrible, awful time. Okay. So you try to attack Patrick Laine. Well, you're going to be able to figure that out, and they're going to get power plays, and they're probably going to sucker you into them because they're jerks. It's going to be the face wash Olympics against them, I think, or the poke check at the back of the knees
you guys think
Olympics.
it'll be a chippier, and I'm sorry to interrupt, but do you think it'll be a chippier tournament than what we're used to at, say, like the Olympics?
A million. Dude, the States have both Tkachuks. Think about it. What makes them great players? Well, they can score, sure. They can
skate.
They're playmakers. They can skate. The reason they make millions and millions and millions of dollars is they are so many players' worst nightmare. You think teams are excited to see Florida on the schedule?
No way.
And Brady is becoming a bigger and bigger and bigger problem. There's 2 of them. Do you know how many guys their first game of the tournament against the States is going to be like, oh, there's 2 of them? Imagine you find a way to get away from Matthew and Brady, who is like twice his size, is waiting for. I've met the both of them. I know they're listed not very far apart. They're far apart.
Like Brady's huge.
Brady's huge. Has to have the biggest head in the National Hockey League. Easily. That get a good look at it when there's no helmet on. That is the biggest pumpkin in the entire NHL. Huge. Like JVR, the Americans, there's a lot of big heads in that hockey program. JVR had a different big head. It was like wide. And this is coming, like I know. This is an expert on big heads. Anyway, the reason they make millions of dollars is because they are complete nightmares to play against. And I think if I'm the Tkachuks, first shift, I'm getting in someone's face just to let everyone know.
Okay.
Just to put the memo out.
All right, so that's going to be a good game. Now, a couple programming notes. Jesse's going to be streaming that game on the SDPN YouTube channel
tomorrow night.
That's
yeah.
right.
Yeah,
We're going to get a
fun
Jesse
one.
Blake Crab People stream. Steve is going to be
be a good
streaming
time.
live from here tonight for the Canada-Sweden game. So we hope you're sticking around all night because we're going to be here all night.
And then sleeping here after.
Yeah. Cold pizza in the morning. Who doesn't love that? Now, I do want to open up the floor to questions in just a second. But first, I met somebody before the show, and I thought it was worth talking. So, sir, could you stand up, please, for a second? Woo! All right. So, hold on. I want to just point out that he has a San Jose Sharks specialty jersey from Indigenous Heritage Night, and it's a Liljegren jersey. And what's crazy about this is that the Sharks, when he bought it, called him, and they offered for you to get that autographed. Did they not?
What?
Autographed and customized.
So
with
he
Liljegren.
bought the jersey, and then they said, "Can we throw that in?"
You're so famous,
wow.
like as the Liljegren lover. There was actually a game this season where they showed Michael Nylander on the screen because he was sitting in the crowd of the Leaf game, and I went, "Oh, that's Liljegren guy sitting behind him." Wait, whoa!
How did you get the OEL hat? Are they selling those?
They did sell the hats that the players wore. Sent a link to Steve. I'm like, hey.
Oh. So nobody can hear. Can
Yeah.
we
Well,
give him a mic?
I don't want to give him a mic because it's going to feed back into the thing. I'm worried
Get
about
up
that. Here, come on up.
We'll just
So here, come on up, sit down. All right. Now, quick question. So, okay, you got the OEL 1000, which is pretty cool.
Yes.
Right? How'd you get it?
So Real Sports Apparel is linked with Real Sports Auctions.
Yeah.
So normally at the end of a couple games, they'll sell out player-worn jerseys or other cool paraphernalia. And I was just kind of looking, and I always have the tab open because I like just collecting random stuff.
That's so dangerous.
And
dude.
I remember on the podcast you guys talked about how dumb the 1K
Yes.
integration normally is, and how OEKL is kind of weird but also kind of interesting. And I was like, you know what? That hat is just really cool. And
Oh, so this is our
it's
fault.
a player-worn hat.
yeah. So
Do you know who?
I don't.
And you sent the
Matthews.
link to Steve, and Steve didn't tell anybody.
That is correct.
Wow, Steve didn't.
I'm upset.
Wow.
I would have loved
Do we
one of
boo
those
Steve?
hats.
I think we boo Steve.
Again?
So they also sold the shirts that the players wore as well.
Oh, no
So
way.
I got a shirt and the matching hat.
Oh, that's very cool.
Yeah.
Wow, that's awesome.
Okay, here, you don't have to tell me the exact number. 100?
No, it was like $60.
Oh,
Steve! Man, that's like a James Reimer figure for you.
Hey,
That cost you the same.
yeah, that's sitting in a box right now.
That's what I thought. Hey, thanks so much for coming up.
Yeah,
man.
and I'm going to be changing jerseys. I got another one to show
He's
off.
got an outfit
I got
change.
another
Let's
one,
go. All right.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
Hey, man, thanks for coming up. You're awesome. You're awesome. Thanks, buddy.
This dude shows up at a Boston Pizza like he's performing at the Grammys. I love it. Love it.
So here's the thing. I think if we go a bit far enough back, it won't feed back, right? The speaker. Okay, all right. So, Maddie, I am going to give you the microphone once you've reset the camera here. And we're going to do a little bit of a Q&A, and then we're going to do some giveaway. Do you want to do the first giveaway now? While Maddie's
sure.
So Jesse's going to do a little trivia. Don't shout out your answer.
Yeah, we
Raise your
gotta pick
hand
you.
like we're in grade school, because if you shout out your answer, there's no way we're going to know who got it first, okay?
So I'm going to give you a player name off of Team Finland, and you got to tell me their jersey number. Anton Lindell. Hand up. Beige shirt. 15 is correct.
What does he win, Jesse?
Justin, could you hand Robert? Awesome. Give me a T-shirt and any type of figurine.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, this
right.
giveaway is brought to you by McFarlane Toys.
He said figurine.
I did.
Victory.
You get a hockey
You get
doll.
a Jack Eichel doll and an SDPN T-shirt.
That's great. Yeah. All right. Oh, he
you
got
got
Matty
Matty
Beniers
Beniers
last time. Oh,
Nice.
he's building a Steve Dangle
Back-to-back
collection.
winners. Yeah.
Fastest hand in the West.
That's right. All right. Now, who's
Q&A.
got a question? If anybody has one, I'm being presumptive. Go ahead. So, Maddie, do you mind?
Check. Okay, this works.
Please state your
Good
name.
job.
Oh.
All right. What?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
here, take it.
Yeah. First off, your name.
I'm Nancy.
Hi, Nancy. Everybody say hi, Nancy.
Hi. And this is
Hi,
my
Nancy.
first live event, and I'm really excited.
Yeah, it's Nancy's
Yeah.
first event. Let's go. All right. Welcome, Nancy.
And I have a comment and I have a question. The comment is for Adam. The question is for Stanley Cup winning general manager.
All right.
All right.
My
I'm afraid of the comment.
is thank you for cold calling Alan Walsh, because Agent Provocateur is a fascinating podcast. I have learned things I didn't know that I didn't know. And I really enjoy your repertoire with him, and I just think it is such an amazing podcast.
Thank you very much. I'm going to pass that along to Alan.
Yeah.
Adam's greatest strength is how seldomly he listens to me. Because he told me about that idea before he did it, and I'm like, that's a really dumb idea, Adam. And it's like one of my favorite shows.
Yes.
Thank you.
You always talk about how underrated that podcast is.
I think it is. I think, and it's not because of me. I think
I'll do it. There you go.
Alan is like a crazy chest of information, and he's just dying to tell you. And it's so funny because what happens with that show, and I'll just say this here because I'm gonna toot the horn because Alan's not here. What happens is we release that episode, and then all the news sites, your major news outlets, you know who I'm talking about, start to grab it and go, hey, I heard that so and so, and especially I'll give you a for instance, Alan, after Elliot Friedman, was the first guy who works within the NHL to publicly confirm where the cap was going and that it was going to jump significantly. He still maintains, because there's adjustments to be made, 95.5 is not the final number. It's just a direction. It's a memo. He's saying it's 97 mil. 97 mil. And Alan was the first guy to say it, and then everybody else was coming out afterwards. He does this all the time. So it's funny. I feel like if you listen to that show, it's one of the best insider shows out there that aren't talking about like trades. Do you know what I'm saying?
He talks about, like, I just feel like we have so much covered.
Yeah.
We're the weird, anxious fans.
Yeah.
Which I think a lot of people identify with.
Yeah.
There's our insider show with CJ, and then Alan is like how the sausage is made. Mm-hmm. And then every now and then he'll tell you something completely insane that you're like, are you allowed to say that?
Yeah. Like how I don't know if you guys have heard this story, but when he started to make his break into Czechia, one of the two agents in Czechia that existed at the time physically assaulted him at a hockey game at the World
punched him in the
Juniors
face, didn't he?
in front of a bunch of prospective clients. And one of the clients, because Alan obviously didn't punch back, but this guy got arrested and dragged out of the arena and thrown into a paddy wagon, which is hilarious. It was in Germany. And you know who came up to him after that was Martin Havlat's parents. And they said that we were going to go with him, but we don't want to go with him after that. We're going to go with you now.
Do you know how much money that punch made him?
Yeah, it's crazy, huh? It's crazy. So thank you very much for shouting out AP.
But even,
I really appreciate
even
it.
his non-hockey stories
Yeah.
as well.
Oh, his non-hockey stories are great.
He was a criminal lawyer.
Yeah,
Like it's
like-
insane.
Yeah.
The
like
journey
the O.J.
he's been
Simpson
on.
stories.
Yeah.
were-
Yeah.
Oh, the O.J. Simpson stuff is crazy. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, award Stanley Cup winning general manager
Yes.
Jesse.
Jesse Blake.
I would like to know how your appreciation of hockey and the insight you get into it has changed since you are the STPN on-site reporter.
It's changed significantly. Like I briefly mentioned it like a couple times when we were talking, but the day-to-day grind of an NHL player's schedule is difficult to wrap your head around. And just being there just for the games and practices, you get a glimpse into it, but it's really hard to play in the NHL.
Yeah.
Like it's a toy factory. You're getting paid millions of dollars. Like all that stuff aside, doing it 24/7 from they start in like end of August through to whenever you get eliminated in the playoffs or if you make it, like that whole grind where it's nonstop is really difficult. And I'll go to the game and then I'm there like 2 hours ahead of time, and I know the players were there 4 hours ahead of time. And then it's practice the next morning, and they're taking midday naps all the time because their bodies just need this rest because it's hard to keep up with that schedule. I think that's the biggest appreciation I have for the NHL and the NHL players now that I get to go into the locker rooms and all of that, is just seeing that these guys literally live this every single moment of their life, and they don't get a chance to stop until there's a break in the summer, and then they're back at it again. So I think that's been the biggest eye opener for me so far. And there's a bunch of little stuff that we've covered around the game there, and just seeing all the behind the scenes stuff. But like that's the biggest change for me.
I want to give you guys and anybody who listens to this show regularly a bit of a shout out too, because in Toronto, it's a very unique situation, right? You have people clawing your eyeballs out to get in there, right? There are so many more media outlets now than there used to be. It used to be radio, television, newspaper, but now anybody can start a blog, and anybody can start a podcast in their parents' basement, or a video channel in their childhood bedroom, and all of a sudden you're technically media. And when we went to Maple Leaf Sports and Entertainment originally with this, they were like, we don't do digital outlets. We don't do them. We do newspaper, we do radio, we do television.
They were a little nicer than that.
Yeah, no, but I think it was a fair point. Had we been in any other city, probably wouldn't have been an issue. But in Toronto, it's the coverage of the Leafs is so intense, and it is because of the community that we have here and listening that we were able to get that. We were one of just two that got those credentials this year. So I do want to shout you guys out, because if it weren't for you, there's no way in hell we would have that. So thank you very much. We appreciate it. It's amazing. And Jesse, you do a great job. It's so nice.
I try.
Yeah, it's awesome. Next question here.
Next question.
You go ahead, Maddie. You pick. Mad Dog. By the way, shout out to Maddie, everybody, who does every show. Yeah. Okay.
I'm going to go Sabres.
Sabres guy. Here he is. What's your name?
Billy.
All right, everybody say hi, Billy.
Hello.
Hello, Billy.
All right, hi, Billy.
And for the record, I am cheering for Team Canada tonight.
Yeah, Billy!
Yeah.
Buffalo Billy.
And Buffalo Billy.
Buffalo Bill.
At least we got the Bandits.
Yeah.
So my question is for Steve. I know you've been to the U.S., you've been to Canada, you've been to Sweden. Which of the nations has the worst drivers?
Can you include Scotland? You've been to Scotland?
Yeah.
I've been to Scotland. Scotland's got some of the best drivers, because their roads are so narrow and terrifying that pulling over is built into driving there. So, like, you can't be the jerk who's like, well, I don't do that for anyone. I'm just going to friggin' go. You'll die. So they don't really do that. Sweden, I don't remember a ton of people being on the road. It's a little more sparse. The worst Uber driver I've ever had.
In Uber?
In Sweden?
Drew and I thought we were going to die. Yeah.
Really?
No way.
It was that or a guy from Philly. So I got to say, Canadian drivers, even though they drive me nuts the most because I drive here, they're probably better than New York. Actually has some impressive drivers because, again,
It's New York.
It's so tight.
you have to.
Yeah.
I think it's difficult to be a bad driver in Toronto because you're not going anywhere. Sweden was good except for that one driver who almost killed me.
I like that. Great question, Billy.
They all have good and bad.
Great question, Billy. Next one.
Okay. Ooh, we got a Scepters jersey.
Oh, yeah. I noticed you on the way in. I was like, that's a great jersey. Look at you.
It was a birthday
That's
gift.
awesome.
What's your name?
Hi, my name is JD from just down the road in Scarborough.
Yes, JD from Scarborough, everybody.
Long time, first time. We've actually met twice already on both your book signings.
I love it.
Excellent.
Love it.
Hey.
Right, so I got 2 questions. One's a silly one and one's a serious one for Adam and Jesse.
Uh-oh.
Thank God.
What do you think is a realistic expectation for Lewis's first season with Ferrari? Is he going to blow it out the water or is he going to struggle?
We got a
Championship
Formula
or
One.
bust?
I think Lewis is going to be top 2.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be between Ferrari and McLaren this year. That's
Yep.
what I think.
Lewis.
Jesse, who has Lewis Hamilton gear. Are you a Ferrari fan now?
Oh, 100%.
Okay, all right.
I'm a fan of the driver, not the team.
There you go.
Yeah, I jump ship to Ferrari. But seeing what the car did last year, where they were in every race, like Leclerc was right there, and so was Sainz. So if with Lewis behind it, I think he can challenge for the championship.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Love that.
Jacques Villeneuve.
Now for the silly question.
Silly question. Oh, that was the serious one. Thank God.
Oh, good.
Now in the dark hypothetical that all of SDPN ended up on Squid Game, who do you think wins the whole thing and who dies the most gruesome death?
Like all of our staff?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm going to
Including
include
you, Maddie. I'm
Robert,
sorry.
Justin. I'm going to include our sales rep, Christina. I'm going to, who I think who would get the furthest is I might give that to Julian McKenzie.
That's a good pick.
Because Julian is deceptively built, so he can handle any strength challenges. He's very smart. Multilingual. I don't know why you would need that in Squid Game, but I still feel like it's impressive.
I don't remember that coming up.
Yeah, but you never listen. It could be a Canadian version, and if it is Canadian Squid Game, probably helps. I don't know. I'm just so impressed by Julian, so I think Julian.
Your next challenge is asked to go to the bathroom in French.
I think Julian's the right answer. I think
Julian?
Julian's got everything you'll need to compete in all the different challenges. I'm trying to run through all the challenges in my mind. Like the bridge one. Like he'd be pretty good at that.
I think he'd be good at the stop-start one too, with the big
red
doll.
light, green light.
Yeah.
I think Jesse would be good at the glass bridge one because you could probably skip panes of glass.
Yeah.
I just go 2 hops and I'm at the end.
You would only have to do half of them.
Yeah.
Right? The rest of us would be at a disadvantage.
Yeah. I would say Julian. Julian's
Let's pick Julian.
Good question.
Yeah.
Good question. All right. Who else do we have here? Maddie's going to the back. She's going to the back.
I want to cover all the areas.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
The guy in the voodoo wizardry and bullshit hoodie.
Oh, wow, that's an old
Steve,
one.
are your glasses good?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Maddie's doing bits.
Hello.
Go ahead. What's your name?
My name's Julian as well, actually.
Hey, Julian. What's going on, man? Everybody say hi to Julian. Yeah.
Julian.
So my question is, after seeing what Colorado did with Rantanen, do you think before the trade deadline, Toronto tries to get an understanding of what Marner and his agent are asking for in terms of contract? And if they think it's extremely unreasonable, do you think they pull off a trade like Colorado did before the deadline, depending on what Marner is asking for on his
Before you
contract,
guys answer that, can I just say that Elliot Friedman said today that, I believe it was Elliot Friedman, I was reading a report that
Here, for the audience, who is that?
That is some guy at Sportsnet. But there is talk out there, and I apologize, Elliot, if I'm attributing to this wrong. There's talk out there that Mikko Rantanen might actually move. And it's just talk at this point.
He's played 4 games.
Right, but if they can't re-sign him, you can't hold him, right? So I'll leave you guys to answer the Marner one, but I just think that's interesting.
The Marner one for me is, I think it's pretty simple. I think they've been waiting for this entire season to pass and the playoffs to come, and that's when you get the decision on Mitch Marner, is how they do in the playoffs. And I think everybody in the situation, the Leafs and his agent and Marner, are happy waiting and seeing.
So I just looked up at Canada's projected lines. There's Braden Point, Brandon Hagel, Anthony Cirelli, all divisional rivals on a team the Leafs have played in the playoffs twice. And they I think their number one mission in this tournament is to win it. Their number two is to convince Mitch to ask for $16 million a year. What else are you there for?
Yeah,
what else are you there
Tampering.
for?
Yeah.
Tampering. Oh, this is the tampering Olympics. Yeah. Are you kidding me? I think the States and Sweden have guys from the Canucks and the Rangers, and God, those have just got to be the messiest dressing rooms right now. I know that has nothing to do with your question, but
Yeah, what do you think about Marner?
The ship sailed months and months and months ago when his no move kicked in. He's not getting traded, so he stays where he goes. That's why I think it's been so little of a story this year. There's
That no trade kind of negates everything.
Rantanen didn't have a no trade.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was more of a will he or won't he.
Yeah.
And Marner, I cannot believe this is the quietest Leaf season since I started doing LFR. They are involved in nothing. I don't know contract talks. I don't know what anyone's number is. Forget Mitch. What's Nice's number? I haven't heard of
We heard that
Nothing.
one report from Drags earlier this year, but
Months
but
ago.
nothing
That's
since.
it, yeah.
Nothing since.
In camp, we were like, they're going to trade Robertson. There's nothing. It's kind of nice.
You want drama for the content.
Yeah, you want the clicks, man.
Okay, a lot of times, what is best for us, SDPN, my YouTube channel, all that, is not what's best for the Leafs.
100%.
But I watch every game. People don't believe me. I watch every game. I want them to go 82-0 every year and be the first team to go 16-0.
That's not what the comments say. The comments say you root for losses because
Hell
that
yeah.
spikes the channel.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's why I turned purple. Because I don't mean it.
And the key thing to remember is when they're quiet like this, there could be something happening. And, if our good friend Keith Acton is to be believed, and I think he is, we have a pretty good shot at hoping for good things. I won't say anything more than that.
If anything does happen, it's going to hit us like the Rantanen and Nietzsche's trade.
Yeah.
No, who was forecasting that?
Right.
When it happened, I was like, oh, okay, yeah, I get it. But no one was like, oh, yeah, Nietzsche's is going to be traded any day now. Rantanen's is going to be traded. There was none of that.
Yeah.
So this is a very long-winded way of saying Mitch is a Leaf, and he's going to be a Leaf until he's either not a Leaf or continues to be a Leaf. That's it.
Maddie, any other questions?
Any more questions?
Okay, we got
Oh, we got a few.
We got
Okay.
tons.
You,
sir. What is your name?
Carter.
Carter. Everybody say hi, Carter.
Hi, Carter.
We welcome everybody in. It's a group.
I'm a Sens fan, so I'm curious.
Uh-oh.
Oh, come on. Come on.
Boo yourself. Which Tkachuk brother would you rather have on the Leafs right now if you could have it with zero cap
Oh,
implications?
man. Right now?
Right now, no cap implications.
So here's why I'm going to say what I'm going to say. And games played matter. They matter. And you saw that with the Kings and the Blackhawks. Those teams they won championships, but they didn't win them back to back because you're exhausted. Matthew's been to the Cup final, basically to the end of the Cup final 2 years in a row. Was the Florida one, when they lost to Vegas, how many games was that?
5.
That was 5.
Yeah.
They did 7 last year.
Because Tkachuk was busted up.
Right. So I would take Brady because he is going to be a monster in the playoffs like Matthew is, and he's played a lot less games. He's fresher, I think. That's what I would say. He didn't break his sternum or whatever it was.
I just think lineup-wise, I want a left winger over a right winger, so give me
good
Brady. Left winger. I'm just thinking about the Leafs lineup. Plug in a left winger, it'd be a lot better.
I think
we got Mitch and Willie already.
I think Matt can learn.
Nah.
All right, so you're going Matt Tkachuk?
I'll go Brady.
I think Matt is probably the better player, but let's I'll be okay. Let's pretend all things are equal. They have the same point total, same supporting cast, same resume, same everything. They're very different as brothers, and we see them in all the scrums and all the fights, and because of that, we think they're the same. They're not. Here's the difference, and I promise you're never going to watch the Tkachuks the same ever again. Every game and every situation, Brady Tkachuk brings anger. Matthew Tkachuk creates anger. He is the anger. He's
the reason people are mad.
He ruins your day. It's easy to ruin Brady's day. We've seen it happen too many times.
That's a good point.
Matthew is the brother who antagonizes Brady into doing something, and now you get the penalty or grounded,
Right.
or whatever it is. I would love to know exactly what their dynamic was growing up, because Brady's a battering ram and he'll make your team better. Like, he would bring something that the Leafs just straight up don't have. Tkachuk's shithousery. Sorry, Matthew Tkachuk's shithousery.
There's children here.
He doesn't know words yet. Sorry. My bad. Matthew's naughtier. Matthew is far naughtier, and that is why I want him on the Leafs.
There you go. All right, so we're gonna wrap the questions there because we do have to give away these prizes and then get Steve set up for this live stream. And remember, 35 minutes. Do we have some time? What do you think?
Sure, we can do a couple more giveaways.
Yeah, a couple more.
Why are they warming up?
Giveaways,
already?
questions,
All right.
whatever.
TNT said it's 35 minutes.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Okay.
So what do you want to do, Jess? Do you want to do another question?
Quick giveaway, and then we'll go back to some questions.
Yeah, let's
I
do some
guess.
giveaways. You guys cool with that? Keep going?
All right.
You guys have been great, by the way. This is amazing. This is so much fun.
He could not get his number for the Four Nations. What number is Drew Doughty wearing? The backwards hat over there.
He knew.
Yeah,
he knew what the
you had
question
your
was.
hand up before I even finished. What's the answer? Get on up.
89. Big win. Big win. Come on
Awesome.
up. Come on up. Yeah.
Here's how long Drew Doughty has been on Team Canada. That's a 2010 Olympic jersey. He was on that team.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, isn't that crazy?
Wow.
Who'd you get?
Marshy.
Jonathan
Yeah. All right.
Oh, God.
All right. Do you want to do another giveaway?
Team Sweden. Ricard Raquel. What number is he wearing? Billy from Buffalo? He is wearing 67.
Oh, of course he is. Has to be 67. All right.
We can go back to questions.
Let's go to some questions here. Maddie?
Yeah. Anybody
we
got
got?
questions?
Oh, we got ones along the bar
Over
here.
here.
Along the
There we
bar.
go. Leafs jersey.
Okay, what's your name first?
Cody and Nicole Brown from Bowmanville.
Hey, it's Cody and Nicole Brown from Bowmanville. Well known in these parts.
I'd like to thank my wife for coming here for Valentine's Day. It's a fantastic present. Thank you very much.
Valentine's. That's so sweet.
That's adorable.
And my, yeah, it is.
It is.
And no, that's her present to me, not mine to her.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
No, totally.
There was someone who brought someone to a live event once, their significant other. She didn't seem all that chuffed to be there. The next year we went back, and I was like, "Where's your girlfriend?" "Oh, we're not together anymore." And it was shortly after that event that they broke up.
Well, that won't happen, but she might not come next time.
That's fair. That's fair.
How hard is it going to be to cheer against Nylander tonight and Matthews in a few nights? Probably for the first time ever.
Easy. I think it's going to be totally easy. Buddy. Like, okay, so this jersey arrived at our office, and we had to divvy them up. And me, Adam, and Jesse are talking, and they're like, "Steve, do you want the Matthews one?" And drop of a hat, no. No, I don't want it. Matthews is on the back. When people see me coming, all they're going to see is USA. Absolutely not. Not in your wildest dreams. Are you joking me? Wait, you want me to wear a Gilmore Habs jersey as well? Like, no. I like that player. I ain't wearing that logo. Again.
Adam, how do you feel?
I picked the USA Matthews jersey before the tariff talks, okay? All right?
Adam
All right?
also gets
Well,
a pass because you're part American.
Yes, I am half. My mother's an American, so I do have some loyalty there. The country is not its government, please. But I get it, right? And like I knew I was hiding this jersey the whole thing because I was like, they're gonna boo that jersey. Like they're totally like Jesse puts his on. There's no problem. I bring out the Matthews jersey. There's like an audible tension that leaches into the room, and I get it. So I'm excited for Saturday night because that Canada-USA game, while it might mean nothing to anybody outside of hockey, that is going to be the most politically charged hockey game between these two countries, I think, ever. And I think that's going to be pretty cool.
By the way, if you want cheap hockey tickets, that game, Canada-USA, is sold out. Sweden-Finland is earlier that day, and apparently there's like 1 billion tickets left.
Yeah.
For like an eighth of the price.
Which is crazy.
Yeah, well,
it'll be a great game.
Kind of makes sense, but yeah.
Yeah.
Any more questions?
Any more?
There you go.
There's tons.
Get back. Right here. Oh, I love this blazer.
Thank you.
Hey, everybody,
guys.
this is Myron, by the way. I met Myron before the
I'm
show.
Myron.
Hello, Myron.
Everybody say hi, Myron.
Hi, Myron.
Yeah. All right, Myron. He's got his Hockey Night in Canada jacket on.
Welcome.
He's ready. All right, buddy. What's up?
All right, so my fiance Angie and I are getting married in July.
Woo!
Congratulations.
Thank you.
I've done that a couple times. Anyway.
So I was just wondering, are any of you ordained to be a officiant for a wedding?
No. Certainly nobody would trust me with that responsibility.
Alan Walsh is. And
Yes.
He did one of his. I forget which client.
He did a
He did one of
client.
his
I
clients'
forget
weddings last 2 years, like 2 years ago now.
Yeah.
But Alan is. It was a pretty simple process to do that in California, apparently, and
It's
Alan did
harder
that for-
up here.
Yeah, I don't think it's as easy in Canada.
Yeah.
But Alan did it pretty quickly for his client. And he married them. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, that is cool.
I gotta remember who it is. I forget. But yeah, none of us.
None of
yeah.
us. Sorry, buddy.
Yeah.
Are you looking for Deacon Dangle? Deacon Dangle.
His wife's like, why did you ask that freaking question? Are you out of your mind? Are you out of your mind?
Oh,
he might say yes to this.
Fiance.
Oh, fiance.
I make them husband and wife.
Oh, okay. All right.
What's Deacon Dangle?
You know what a deacon is?
Deacon.
Deacon, as in like the church deacon.
I'd be Deacon Dangle.
Yeah.
Oh,
He's a confirmed Catholic. You both are. Come on.
I didn't get it.
Someone failed religion.
Maybe a little.
All right.
I paid
Other
attention.
question?
Other question.
There's like
Other
deek.
question. You had your hand up forever.
It's the play on words.
All right.
It's very clever.
Yes,
You'd
sir.
have to know Catholicism.
Okay, so the question.
Hold on. Need the name first. This is community here.
You forgot from last time.
Hey, you're expecting me to remember every name all the time? Come on now.
Name's
Or
Matt.
any.
Matt. And I know that you're a winner, and I recognize you, but I can never remember anyone's name. Please don't ask me to do that. I'll let you down every time.
So the question is for Team Canada: offense, defense, and goaltending. Rank them out of 4.
Out of 4.
So goaltending for us probably being 4 out of 4 in the tournament.
Oh, like how they stack up against other teams.
Yeah, one is best, 4 is
yeah.
worse.
Right.
I mean, difficult with Nathan McKinnon and Connor McDavid to not say 1 or 2 for their offense. Cale Makar, who's going to get 30 goals this year on defense, but not obviously the forward group. I think goaltending wise, they're probably 4 out of 4.
Yeah.
That's the
Well,
easy
yeah,
one.
goaltending's 4 out of
That's the
4.
free space. I
Easy.
don't know defense and forward. I don't know.
Defense, they're as low as 3, but I think it's so tight. It's so. If you made a compelling argument for why they're 1, I'd take it. They're as low as 3, as high as 1. I'll cop out and say 2 because Sweden's probably number 1. If Canada's above the States, it's not by much. Forward group, I think they're number 1. It's going to come down to, it better be number 1 because their goaltending's 4. So I would say let's go with 1 forward group, 2 defense, 4 goaltending. Like it.
Yeah, I think that's about right.
Yeah. I'm with it.
More questions?
Yeah, let's ask another one.
All
There's
right.
one. First off, I want to say that he just down in the corner there. Do you mind going to talk to them for a second?
No,
they are the
no.
couple, guys, for our VIP episode in September that invited us to their wedding.
Oh,
that's right.
Yeah.
Let's go.
And we didn't go.
How did it go? How was it? Was it good? Successful?
I thought it was good. We're still married.
Okay.
They are still married. Hey.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, my question is, if you did a 5-on-5 Leafs all-time North America versus Leafs all-time world, who would win?
Oh man. Leafs all-time North America versus Leafs all-time world. Okay, think of the free spaces. Sundin, Salming.
Gilmore, Gartner, Andrew Chuck.
Matthews is starting center.
I think you're saying names too fast.
Yeah.
Honestly, Matthews, Marner.
Nylander, Tavares.
Nylander's team international.
Sweden, yeah.
he's
Well, no, but is
international.
Nylander's born in Calgary? Do we get to steal him for Team North
No,
America?
who's he playing for
okay.
tonight?
All right.
Nylander's a safer bet. I think he bumps out Jonas Höglund pretty
Yes.
effectively.
Yeah.
McGillney.
McGillney's a big one.
on Team World.
Yep. But then, you've got Robertson, Nieuwendyk.
You have a back end of
Nick Robertson.
Not Nick. No, Roberts. Gary Roberts.
So Team World, I feel like is easier. Like, okay,
Yeah,
so
Team
your
World
back
is.
end has to be Salming Caberlet.
Yeah. Kenny Johnson.
Nah.
Kenny Johnson's amazing. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, but he didn't
overlooked.
Not really with the Leafs though.
That doesn't matter. It's overall play.
Meh.
Yeah, so we have D figured out.
Yeah.
Nylander's on the wing, and then Sundin's in the middle, and we just need one more winger.
McGillney.
There you go.
That's a pretty good starting lineup.
That's good.
That's a tough
Oh,
matchup.
who's in net?
That one's harder.
Yeah.
Anderson?
Freddie Anderson. Yeah.
Name a better international. Dave
Tuukka Rask.
Tuukka Rask. Oh, it hurts so bad.
That counts, right?
It hurts so bad.
The
yes,
Leafs
it
have
counts.
struggled with international goalies. Like,
Well, they've struggled
Michael
keeping them.
Telquist might crack top 5. Like,
Right. We get Rask.
I think,
Toskala.
Toskala. I don't
Yeah.
think is cracking it.
Yeah. I think that's a pretty good lineup for international.
Yeah, it's
okay,
good.
so let's do Canada.
Canada.
Or North America. So Matthews down the middle.
Yep.
Does Marner make the wing?
Yes,
Is he all time? Yeah?
absolutely.
That you're cutting out a lot of guys.
I know,
But
but
Gilmore doesn't make that group.
Right.
well, if it's a starting lineup,
Oh.
Gilmore at his best.
Oh.
I think you're putting Gilmore on the wing and Matthews in the middle, or vice versa.
Won the Selke versus nominated for the Selke. Dougie.
Yeah.
I think he gets in there.
Okay. Do you put Dougie, Matthews, Marner? Sittler.
Sittler.
Oh, Landon McDonald.
Wendell's up on the board.
Yeah, that's
there.
right.
Yeah, that's a great thing about being at like Keith Acton's restaurant. You could just like look around.
Yeah. Who played for this team? Keon. Oh my God,
Dave Keon.
That's. I think North America wins. But
Yeah, I think the answer is because you asked who won. Us trying to find all the greats to fit.
It's
going to
be a good game.
Who the hell's on
They
D?
win.
It'll be a good game.
Who the hell's on D?
Tim Horton.
Like Tim Horton. Like
Martin Marincin.
Marincin.
On Team North America? I don't know. Team North America?
I think North America wins.
like Brian Leach is cheating.
Matthew
If we-
Schneider?
Oh, Brian McCabe might make
McCabe,
Canada.
yeah.
True.
Team World kicks.
enough.
No. You see what I'm saying?
Morgan Riley.
I mean, in
have
net-
to be Chris
in net-
Tanev.
You just,
Tanev.
Tanev, I think.
in net, you just take your pick. I mean, like
Yeah.
Sawchuk, Cujo,
Yeah.
friggin' Potvin, probably number 1, right? Right?
No.
Wool, Stolers.
Larry Murphy.
Larry
Yeah.
Murphy's probably on the back end.
Answer Team North America. We're giving.
I
the
say
edge.
Team North America, yeah. Man, we spent way too much time on that question. It was a good one.
It was a fun one.
That was
Yeah.
great.
I
great
think World
question.
wins.
All right,
Not
one more
gonna
question. We'll do one more and then we'll wrap it up.
One more question.
And if you don't get your question.
Right here.
Right here.
Sharks. Yeah.
There we go.
So yeah, I didn't actually say my name earlier. My name's Kyle.
Hey, everybody, it's Kyle. Hey, Kyle.
So although the Leafs have been pretty quiet, they did make a huge trade at the beginning of the season. Right-handed defenseman, Sweden, first-round pick, Timothy Liljegren.
Yes.
Do you guys think they're kind of missing him after Timmins a little bit of fall off? Philippe Myers been making playing
We
a
can't
few
do
too many
this.
games.
Revisionist
Oh,
history.
my God. Oh, my God.
No.
Can I hold your hand when I say this? No. The different, like, let's say he's marginally better than Timmins or Myers. He costs significantly more than both of them combined.
Yeah.
And like he's been healthy scratched by the Sharks, man. Like that. If that's a practice jersey, I'm sure it's in pristine condition. Like I'm sorry.
He shows up to practice.
I'm sure. Yeah, you're right. He shows up to practice.
Steve.
Yeah, Frankie Corrado. You know what? Frankie Corrado's practice jerseys were probably more beat up than his
Yeah.
game jerseys. You're right. Bless Timmy. Wish him nothing but success. $3 million for multiple years. I don't know who his agent is, but I'm cold calling him on the way home.
Yeah, and it's not. It's interesting with Tim because you will see tweets like, "Wow, his 5-on-5 expected goals or whatever." What kind of minutes is he playing? Right.
The difference is I stopped expecting them.
Right. Yeah. I think it's like, okay, he gets sheltered minutes and his numbers are high. Yeah, that's great. We saw what he could do. We saw what he couldn't do. Craig Berube walked in and was like, "That guy's the 8th of 8." And he was immediately
so fast.
Yeah, so that's I think part of it too is it's not necessarily always the player. It's coaching style. It's what you expect from that role. Craig didn't like him. Not like personally, just didn't like his play style. Didn't make the team.
Berube came in and immediately identified him as 8, and Timothy, through his play, was like, actually, I'm 9.
No,
like that's why he's not here anymore. I'm sorry to beat up on him. I wish him success with the Sharks.
Steve, you didn't have to bury him like that.
He's already dead.
Come on.
No,
what are you doing?
No, because he fits into a category of Leaf that we've seen come and go so many times throughout the years, where I'm like, I am cheering for you with my whole chest, Nick Robertson. And it gets to a point where I'm like, all right, you're starting to make me look stupid, man.
I'm rooting for you, yeah. But
sorry, one thing to shout out: both the Sharks and the Kraken do amazing celebration night jerseys. If you ever want to check those out, definitely do that. The Sharks did just have previous SDPN artist design their jersey logo, which is amazing, and it's really, really, really pretty.
Yeah,
so
for Black History
definitely
Month.
check those out.
We shouted Joe out on the show.
Joe
on,
Dabney.
I think last 2 episodes.
Yeah.
Black History Month design. She did a great job. Yeah.
And she's collaborating with the Gens coming up too, so you'll be able to see her handiwork in Durham region.
there you go. Hey, everybody, we are going to be here the rest of the night. Steve is going to be streaming this game. The game starts in the next 20 minutes. Again, it's the first international game involving NHL players in 9 years. So I hope you're sticking around. Let's have some fun. Who cares about the snow outside? We're all Canadian anyway. Thank you guys so much for being here. We love you and we really appreciate it.
Thank you.
The Steve Dangle Podcast. Follow the guys on Twitter at Steve_Dangle, at Adam WYLDE, and at Jesse Blake. Connection complete.